Pentacles in reverse. Those two messages are about obsession with money. What have I done and how do I get what I had back? What he says to me is, it's not over. Hi Aries, this is Michele B, and I'm going to start you a reading to talk about your money and your love messages from the tarot. Starting out, we have the Emperor, but he did come out in reverse, and we have the Lovers in reverse. The Emperor always symbolizes Aries to me, but in this case he was, and like I said, in the reverse, which means that you're feeling really out of your element, very unstable, not so sure that you're on the right path. Always you're on the right path, okay? Even when things aren't going well, when it's what seems to us that things aren't going well, it's actually the universe, source, God, readjusting our path. And it might look like, things might look like a disaster, things might look like they're not going according to plan, but they are all a part of the plan. It's resetting you, recalibrating you with what you were, where you should be if you start to go off course in your lessons. And that's what those Lovers are all about. It's about lessons that you need to learn, that you decided that you needed to learn when you came into your physical body. And I think in particular, there were lessons that you needed to learn with a person that you were romantically connected with. The two of you had some kind of a pact before you came into physical form, and you're like, I'm going to teach you this, and they're like, great, I'll teach you this. And so you came down, and that's why you're attracted to each other, and yuck! Sometimes those lessons come out in really sordid ways that don't feel good, but that's just how we learn, right? Now, Aries, as we go through this reading, I'm going to talk about your specific money and specific love messages, but as we go through, this guy's going to be coming up again and again, and that's what you need to embrace. You're being told by the tarot what to embrace going forward in both scenarios is that the divine wants to guide you. The divine wants to take you in a particular direction toward your higher soul purpose. It could be that part of your soul purpose is getting yourself stabilized and making more money. It could be connecting or reconnecting, in this case, with someone that things went astray with, right? But essentially it's like, follow the path that I'm guiding you on. Don't stress about the details or why or how or any of that nonsense right now. Just go with it. So we're going to see this message coming up again and again. What to embrace going forward. What to leave behind going forward from these lessons. It's the inverse. It's the inverse of what I just talked about with the Fool. It's let yourself be carried. Don't struggle against being helped. Don't struggle against going with the flow. Don't think you have to do everything all by yourself. Allow yourself to move to a calmer place. Allow yourself to just relax. I think a lot of it has to do with detaching from the ego's need for control of how other people see you. That's a major theme that I see coming out again and again. And with that, we're going to move into your money messages, and after that I'll go to the love message. Your specific money messages, we have what I see a huge theme coming up for your money messages is blessings in disguise. Yes, it looked like there was a huge disaster. It looked like something like really awful happened. That's what, when the tower appears in our lives, the universe is trying to, like I said, set us on a better course by getting rid of things that we don't need anymore. There was something in your life that, I mean, it created some kind of stability, right? It created a home, it created a vantage point where you could see things from, but at the same time, it wasn't suiting you and probably some other person too, because you're both falling out of the tower together, right? At the same time. Whenever I joke around, but it really is a serious business with you because it's affecting your life so strongly. Whenever I see the tower, I imagine these two were up at the top and they were bickering with each other. They're like, I told you, all the way down, you jerk, yeah, whatever. Like they're just like, they're so pissed at each other, even as they're falling down. And they're like blaming each other for it. So I see that, I feel that message coming through really clearly. But it's like slowly. Remember, time is flexible. This could be something that's happening at this moment. This could be something you're recovering from. It's as I'm speaking, I'm telling a whole story of things that might even still happen. So keep this in mind. Now, the Knight of Pentacles comes in very slowly and restabilizes your lives. It was what was needed, though, because I feel like there is or was a very unhappy situation that needed to be adjusted. The universe had to come in and reset. So very carefully, very subtly, very slowly, the universe is rebuilding as you go along. A couple of reinforcing messages for being off the right track was these two Capricorn cards. We got the Devil and the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. It's those two messages are about obsession, specifically with money. Obsession, worry about specifically about money, and also addiction to drugs or alcohol that could be involved as well. But it's talking about how things were not on the right track when it comes to being in your physical. And in particular, we're talking about how some burdens were lifted, but you're, of course, still feeling very impatient. These two cards, these are some very fidgety cards, both of these. Like, this is the patience, but it's in reverse. These are two very fidgety cards, and this is about carrying a lot of burdens that really weren't yours to carry. I feel like you're being relieved, no matter what how it might look at this moment. You're being relieved from other people's issues. And it could be that partner is your that former partner or current partner that things are weird with. It could be that you're being relieved of their particular burdens so that they can take care of things on their own. So there is that for sure. It wasn't working as it was, wherever we are in this timeline. It wasn't working as it was, and so adjustments needed to be made. Now let's remember, we're talking about the Fool here, and we're talking about allowing ourselves to be helped by the universe, allowing ourselves to be guided, letting go, going forward. So your closing advice for your money messages are: relax, let yourself go with the flow, let yourself slowly rebuild. Don't be impatient. Everything's happening as it should. So what do we need to do to attract more money into our lives? We need to chill and have a great attitude. When we're open-minded and relaxed, great things, great positive things come to us. Regarding your love messages, Aries, I'm feeling a huge what have I done and how do I get what I had back kind of message, kind of mentality. The energy coming through is like, whatever it was that was going on before, it was not good the way it was, and that's why it had to end. That's why things had to change, and yeah, it had to change. It had to end. So, yeah, your life is totally, even though you could have wanted a split or an ending to happen in the kind of connection that you had before, even though you wanted it before, you might be at present saying, I didn't realize how lonely I'd be. I didn't realize how much I'd miss them. I didn't realize how much I'd want them back. And you're wondering whether or not you made the right choice. It's always the right choice. All of these significant cards coming in are reinforcing that, yeah, you had to do it. Whatever happened, it had to happen in order to set you both on the right course. But I do have an intuitive download, I have to say. I have an intuitive download from this King of Cups. It's indicative of Scorpio. If you are involved with a Scorpio at this time, it could be anybody, but what he says to me is, it's not over. Things are going to come back around again, but both of you will not be the same person. So that's what needed to happen. You both needed to learn some gratitude for each other. You both needed to learn some gratitude about life, and you needed to readjust the way that you interacted with each other, but in particular about the way that you took on each other's responsibilities, how you got all up in each other's business. You had to learn how to give each other space to learn your own lessons on your own. And that was the big lesson that came out of it, was that you both needed to learn how to mind your own beeswax. You both needed to learn how to mind your own business when it came to each of your lessons. And it could be that both of you learned at a young age that you have to be all up in each other's business to show how much you love each other, right? That's an enmeshment thing that happens in families. And then many of us have experienced that, either being too detached or just too much in each other's business. So, okay, you're going to learn how to give each other space. And then you'll come back to each other with a newfound appreciation for each other's independence. Definitely. Let everything go with the flow. There's that Fool again, remember? Let everything go with the flow. It's all going to come back around. So if you are the Fool and if they are the Fool, both of you are going to be going around learning your lessons patiently, not trying to push anything to getting back together again. Not trying to push anything when it comes to all the other material aspects of your lives, especially like the money stuff, right? Not pushing it too hard, just learning to love yourselves. Oh, that's a huge message I have coming through for you, Aries. Learning to love each other, to love yourselves independently without having to be in a partnership in order to be satisfied, right? Then the opportunity for the two of you to run into each other again and possibly even try again is going to happen. But you know what you've heard, wherever you are in this timeline, you've heard the advice is like 28 days of a breakup. I don't know where you're at there. Some people are like, I haven't talked to them for 6 months, and then they get back together again. Who knows? Who knows? But anyway, you're always on the right track. But my intuitive download is that it's not over. All right, this is where I'm going to leave off, Aries. Thank you so much for being with me today. I enjoyed this reading. I hope you did too. In the description box below this video, you'll find a link to my Instagram. You'll find a link to book an appointment with me for a private consultation if you'd like to do that. And you'll find a link to my tip jar so that you could send me a couple dollars if you loved it so much, because I am not monetized. I love you all. Boop, boop. I'll see you later. Bye, Aries.